Okay, so this is a sped up version because the real one is really long. Okay, so right now we had news at 8:30, so core retail sales, and there was a nice pre-market run here. We came back to the 15-minute propulsion block. Okay, so why is this a propulsion block? Because it respected the bodies of this order block, so this is a propulsion block. And so we came down here and leaving the weekly rejection block, and then we reacted here at the propulsion block during pre-market and ran up to the weekly rejection block, which was my bullish target. And right now we can see multiple times we went up, cleared buy side, and we can see a lot of rejection right here. Yeah, so my target is reached. Okay, so we can see the run here is from 7:30 until 7:50, like that. It was a beautiful run into the buy side, into the weekly rejection block. So you can see this is the weekly rejection block right here. Okay, we reached up to it now. Okay, so this is the previous week high target. I know it's a bit hard to see right here, but this is the week that I measured. Okay, yep, so the CE week is there. Okay, so these are all the high time frame weekly levels. Okay, remember we always trade off the high time frame levels. We want to have the context of the high time frame. So right now we can see right here what happened. We have the C week. Maybe it's too dark. I can make it bright a bit. Okay. Okay, you can see this wick here. This C wick, we can see rejection, and we can see a swing high has formed here. And at the moment, bodies is just staying below the weekly C wick. And right now, this sell side here is too clean. Okay, so right now I go to RTH and I want to see where we opened last night and to the 9:30 morning right now, which is NORG. Okay, new opening range gap. Okay, so it's this dotted line. So right here, all these dotted lines here is the new opening range gap, middle point, and the low and the high here, which coincide with the weekly rejection block. And right here, I also measure the upper quadrant of the new opening range gap. So we can see sell side here is super clean, very clean, and here is the 0.5, is the CE of the opening range gap. So right now I am favoring price to reach for the sell side and the CE of new opening range gap. That is my drawn liquidity. You can see during pre-market this beautiful respect at the 15-minute propulsion block, pumps higher, reach the rejection block and the weekly CE wick. And if you measure this CE wick, okay, we can see rejection right here, and right now we are back below the weekly rejection block, and then there is a volume imbalance here as well that I'm seeing. Okay, so right now you can see I drawn this BC, which at the very moment bodies and wicks are respecting it. So at the moment I am seeing whether we can get a body to close below this BC to act as inversion, or do we hold support and reach higher. And now is 9:50. I'm waiting for the 10:50 macro. Hey, sorry, the 9:50 macro, and see what do we get in the 9:50 macro. Okay, so here's DXY, here's dollar, and maybe I rewind back a bit. Okay, so you can see better. Okay, so dollar. Okay, so dollar, here we have a gap. This is a real gap. See, there is no candles inside or any wicks. This is a real gap, and at the moment looking pretty bullish, so I'm expecting it to reach up into this new opening range gap. So DXY is looking, my analysis on DXY right now is looking bullish. So bullish on dollar. So bullish on dollar means indices is easier to go lower. Okay, so I have a look at the Dow and the Forex. Okay, I go back a bit. So if you see here, Forex is looking firm to the downside, cleared sell side here, and dollar is going higher. Okay, so you see I changed the color to orange here. So orange here to me means inversion. Why? Because we have a body closing below this 5-minute BC. So right now I want to see it act as inversion. So this is a 1 hour CB as well, and right now we are at the upper quadrant of the new opening range gap. So here you can see buy side has been cleared, CE wick respected, and right now we have a rejection below the weekly rejection block. So right now if it bumps up, so now right now I will see if it comes up to the inversion BC and send it lower to the sell side. Okay, so you see I went short here as price touches the new opening range gap, as price touches the BC inversion fair value gap. So stop loss is right at the weekly rejection block, because actually these two candles right now I'm seeing this as an order block, and right now here we have a volume imbalance as well. So I'm just aiming for 5 handles basically, because even though the sell side is what I'm aiming for, we must note that there's a price came down here and supported at the 15-minute propulsion block, and at the moment we have tons of buy side here and the previous week high, so it can still come up. So I'm just looking for 5 handles at the moment, seeing how price it is right now, and we are in the 9:50 macro. So okay, so Nasdaq, what I'm seeing Nasdaq here is I want to see if Nasdaq can displace below this swing low. You can see at the moment S&P has not traded below this swing low, but if Nasdaq can stay firm below the swing low, then I would expect S&P to catch up. So it would be easy for S&P to reach lower if Nasdaq is displacing lower, and at the moment dollar is looking pretty nicely. This white box is the gap. Okay, so nice displacement here. So we got a okay, so you can see we are having a nice displacement below this swing low right now, so I expect S&P to spool. It's very easy for S&P to spool right now because we are in symmetry, and we are in the 950 macro, and there you go, 5 handles. So 5 handles is handled, and that would be it for my morning trade.